Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm so glad you're here today because we're diving into something that's more than just another date on the calendar. It's about family, it's about history, and it's about all of us who keep this country running every single day. Yep, I'm talking about Labor Day 2025, which this year falls on Monday, September 1st. Now, when you think about Labor Day, what pops into your mind first? Is it barbecues, long weekends, or maybe back-to-school shopping? For a lot of us, it's the unofficial end of summer, a last chance to soak up the sun before fall routines kick in. But there's so much more behind this holiday, and I think you'll find the story pretty fascinating. Let's rewind the clock to the late 1800s. Back then, workers in America were putting in grueling hours, sometimes 12 to 16 hours a day, 6 days a week, in conditions that were often unsafe. Can you imagine trying to raise a family or just have a life with that kind of schedule? Something had to change. And in September of 1882, thousands of workers in New York City marched together in what became the very first Labor Day parade. They weren't just walking down the street for fun. They were standing up for better pay, shorter hours, and safer workplaces. Doesn't that sound like the kind of courage and unity we could all use today? Now, there's a bit of debate about who actually came up with the idea. Some say it was Peter J. McGuire, a union leader, while others credit Matthew McGuire, a machinist. Either way, the idea caught on fast. By 1887, Oregon became the first state to make it an official holiday. And then, in 1894, after a nationwide strike that really shook things up, President Grover Cleveland signed Labor Day into law as a federal holiday. Here's something interesting. Ever wondered why we celebrate it in September and not in May, like much of the rest of the world? The U.S. government didn't want the holiday connected to May Day, which was associated with more radical labor protests at the time. September was seen as a safer, less politically charged choice. And that's why, every first Monday in September, we get this day off to relax, reflect, and recognize workers. Fast forward to today, and Labor Day has turned into a mix of tradition and modern culture. We still see parades in some cities, which is a nice throwback to that first celebration. But for most of us, it's about grilling in the backyard, catching up with friends and family, maybe taking one last summer trip, or even diving into those big Labor Day sales. I have to ask, what's your favorite Labor Day tradition? Is it hitting the road for a getaway, shopping the sales, or just chilling with a burger fresh off the grill? Of course, as a federal holiday, Labor Day also means a lot of places shut down. Government offices are closed, banks take the day off, the Postal Service pauses deliveries, and even the stock market rests. But on the flip side, many grocery stores, restaurants, and retail giants stay open, some with some pretty tempting deals. So if you've got errands or shopping planned, it's one of those weekends where you can still get a lot done. But beyond the sales and the summer fun, there's a bigger reason this day matters. Labor Day is about honoring the people who keep everything moving: teachers, nurses, drivers, retail workers, builders, you name it. Every job plays a role in the bigger picture of our society. And even in 2025, with the economy growing and technology changing the way we work, the challenges for everyday workers are still real. Wages, working conditions, and job security remain hot topics. Unions are making a comeback in industries like entertainment and manufacturing, and it feels like we're seeing a little bit of that same spirit from the 1800s resurfacing today. So here's a thought. When you're flipping that burger on the grill this Labor Day, or watching fireworks, or even snagging a deal at the mall, take a moment to reflect. How often do we pause to really appreciate the people who make our daily lives possible? The delivery driver who brings your packages, the cashier at your local store, the folks maintaining roads and utilities, they're the backbone of everyday life. And if Labor Day teaches us anything, it's that the dignity of work is worth celebrating. As we wrap this up, I want to leave you with a question. What does work mean to you? Is it just a paycheck? Or is it part of your identity, your way of contributing to your family and community? Think about that as we head into the long weekend. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Labor Day 2025, don't forget to hit that like button, share this video with a friend, and subscribe to the channel for more stories that connect our history to our everyday lives. Wishing you all a safe, fun, and meaningful Labor Day weekend.